Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review on Divergent by Veronica Roth. And you guys know that it has taken me about a month and a half to read it. And the reason behind that is, well, first of all, school started for me, and also the beginning of the school year, I was at the beach constantly getting the last rays of sun before winter comes around and the rainy season starts. And even though where I live, it's not really like we don't get rain that often, it's not really warm. It's kind of in between, so you can't really go and swim at the beach and stuff like that. But I finished this book today, and I'm so excited because I absolutely loved it. If you guys have seen my Goodreads, I rated it a 5 out of 5. And I haven't done a review on it yet on Goodreads, but I'm going to do a review on here. And the Divergent was written by Veronica Roth. It has 487 pages, and it is published by HarperCollins. And the book is about a society which is divided into four factions. There's the abnegation, which are the selfless, dauntless, which are the brave, amity, which are the peaceful, and candor, which are the honest. And every year there's an aptitude test, and all the kids from, like the kids that are of age, have to go and take that test, and depending on what the test shows, that's how they pick which faction they're going to be. And after they choose their faction, they have to go through a set of tests called initiation. And depending on if they pass initiation for the certain faction that they're in, that depends if they're actually going to be part of the faction or if they're going to get kicked out and become factionless. And factionless are people that don't really have a place to go. They're just kind of in the middle. They're not really respected, but there is a certain faction that really helps them, and all the other ones kind of ignore them, and abnegation, which are the selfless, help them. So this girl Beatrice, who is part of the abnegation, that's where her family's from, goes and takes the test. And her results come out really interesting. Her results show that she is equal to abnegation or dauntless. And you know what that means? That means she's a divergent. And being a divergent is very dangerous because people want to harm you, people want to use you, and certain people want to kill you. So she is told that she has to keep secret her test results. She can't tell anyone, but she must pick a faction at the faction choosing ceremony. And this decision is really tough on her because she doesn't want to hurt her family, and she knows that her brother might choose a different faction than the one that they're from, and that means that both of her parents lose a child. And since she is from a selfless faction, she's born to be selfless. She doesn't really know what she's supposed to do, and this decision, till the moments where she has to choose which faction she is in, is rolling around in her head. And finally, she chooses to become dauntless. And the first test that she faces as she becomes dauntless is actually jumping off a train. And as the book progresses, there are a bunch of tests that she has to go through that the dauntless make her do, and pretty much just to prove how brave she is. And in the end of initiation is when they choose who gets to stay in the faction by rankings. So the interesting part about her becoming dauntless is she meets a boy. And I think that kind of was the biggest besides her becoming brave throughout the whole process of becoming into dauntless and facing all the leaders and all the challenges that she does have to face, a big challenge was getting close to someone for her, because being selfless, she doesn't really have the affection or love that other factions have been given to. And she meets a boy whose name is Four, and she becomes really close. He's actually one of her trainers, and they become really close, and almost to a point where she really doesn't know how to react to what's going on between them. And so all of this is going on, and she's trying to kind of figure out, like, is she good enough for this faction? Is she she wants to stay in this faction, you know, but she is kind of realizing that something's going on, something is corrupt, something isn't what it seems, and throughout the whole story, she kind of has to figure out what is going on and how to help all the factions deal with what is happening. So let's talk about the characters. Triss is such a strong character. I absolutely loved her. She is just, she surprised me emotionally. She surprised me physically because she was so tiny. They describe her really tiny and small compared to all the other initiates, and the way she faces her fears is incredible. Like, she just battles them down. And another one of my favorite characters was Four, which was kind of her love interest in the book. And I loved Four. He was like my PETA. You guys saw my review on the Hunger Games. You guys know I ranted about PETA for like a good amount of time. I felt about him the same way I feel about PETA. I love them. They are my book crushes. I'm telling you the truth. They are my book crushes. And the thing I liked about Four was that he was really hard-shelled, but he was kind, and he had such a big heart, and he was really caring. And throughout the whole initiation process, he watched out for Triss, and I just thought that was amazing. And even after, just the relationship between them, how it revolved, how there was almost a moment where she thought they hated each other, and how it revolved to just caring with like everything they have for each other. And I just thought that was really powerful. My thoughts about the book. I absolutely enjoyed it. I thought at first, I know I mentioned on Goodreads that I really wasn't into it, about the first 100 pages into it, but after about maybe right here, like good portion, French, it really got good, and I just couldn't put it down. I really, really liked it. I loved the characters. The biggest part, I loved all the emotions that went on through the book. And I really liked the tougher characters like Eric, who just was tough-skinned and pretty much the antagonist in the book, and the way he treated all the other characters. But I really liked him just because it gave kind of a spark, some action. It was definitely action-filled. If you guys want an action-filled book, this is the book. It's amazing. I really liked it. It has a lot of elements of, it is a dystopian novel, so it does have a lot of elements of that, and it has a lot of kind of modern elements. Like, there's a tattoo kind of background system, and there's a lot of just things that you can relate to real life, which I really liked about. So that was my review on Divergent. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.